Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen tells us some of the elected officials objected to what they were hearing and who they were hearing it from.
I want to have the right to make a parliamentary inquiry.
Democrats on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee angrily accused Republican Chairman Darrell Issa of California of stacking the panel's hearing on religious liberty with clergymen and scholars who oppose President Obama's recent mandate on contraception.
I also run a private school. I don't approve of the federal government forcing me to go against our religious beliefs to provide our teachers with access to birth control.
I'm a minister also. Why should I pay more to buy a plan that covers birth control when any God-loving woman who works for me won't use it?
We promote procreation within the union of marriage. We won't be forced to support the use of birth control. We won't be forced to support promiscuity.
I don't want the government controlling everything. Next, it'll be telling me who and where to worship. This law shows that Obama has zero respect for the Christian religion, and I won't stand for it.
Can you believe this nonsense? This is ridiculous. Where are all the women? There's not one woman on that panel. This is absurd.
Yeah. I actually asked to speak on the panel. I go to Georgetown Law School, a Catholic university. Their student insurance doesn't cover the cost of birth control. As a broke college student, how are we supposed to afford birth control? My friend Fel, for instance, was unable to afford the birth control that her doctor prescribed her for her ovarian cysts. Because the student health insurance wouldn't cover the cost of the birth control, her cysts went untreated, and she lost an ovary as a result. Because of the school's religious beliefs, it affected her chance to one day have kids of her own. I've been speaking out on her behalf because I know that many women go through so many hoops just to take care of their reproductive system. I've tried to fight for what's right, but I've had little support. They wouldn't even let me speak on this panel about women's rights. They claim that I don't have expertise. I have ovaries, a uterus, and personal experiences. What more do I need?
I'm so sorry for your friend. I can see how upset this is making you. Let's turn this nonsense off. Change the channel. Okay, no problem.
What does it say about the college co-ed Susan Fluke, who goes before a congressional committee and essentially says that she must be paid to have sex? What does that make her? It makes her a slut, right? Makes her a prostitute. She wants to be paid to have sex. She's having so much sex she can't afford the contraception. She wants you and me and the taxpayers to pay her to have sex. What does that make us? We're the pimps.
Excuse me, we're ready for you to come and visit your great-grandmother.
Girls, this is terrible. I lived my entire life as a women's rights activist. I marched in the suffragist movement. I can remember the excitement since the 19th Amendment was signed into law. I felt like from that moment forward, women would be better represented in the government because we could elect individuals who would stand up for our rights. I thought that I would live to see women treated as equals. I thought that I would live to see the day when men were not making decisions for women, but instead, women were able to speak on behalf of their own rights and freedoms. We've made a lot of progress, but we are beginning to turn back the clock. Girls, I'm getting too old to keep fighting. It is up to the young generation to keep the fight going. You must ensure that women have equal rights and that their voices are heard. You cannot let men use religious beliefs to infringe on your rights as women. We've come too far to turn back the clock of women's rights. We've come too far.
My great-grandmother was a strong activist for women's rights issues. She died urging us to continue the fight. We cannot allow people to use their religious beliefs to infringe on the rights of women. There are serious health consequences for women who do not have access to free and affordable health care. We are here today to urge you to write your senators and representatives. Tell them to uphold the policies proposed by the PPACA. We cannot lose momentum in the fight for women's rights. Ground cheers.
Yay!
Cover my head, do what I dare. Oh, 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 I wanna be free. man, I feel like a woman.